You know the image of, okay, so now your consciousness, you are non-physical, we know that, and you're experiencing the body and by extension the reality bubble that you're within. Cool. So essentially, your reality bubble is your visor, yeah, on your Ouroboros animal spacesuit thing, and you're looking out of it, right? See trees, birds, everything. It's all matrix code anyway, but you decipher it and you understand it. Cool, 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 cool. Because you're surrounded by the void, the nothingness and all things. Yeah. Now, when you're in your bubble, I wanted to talk about this specifically because people say this sometimes, and I think sometimes it goes over people's heads. When they say, "Oh, things are not happening to you; they're happening for you." They literally are, and I'm going to show you how. So you are in a simulation. A simulation is an experiment, yeah? You want to test different things to get different outcomes, yeah? Go and check out my video on you're in a simulation. You see I talk about this extensively. Um, so you're an experiment of sorts, yeah? To see how you will react and how you will cope in certain environments. Having that realization will save your life because because you will straight away realize that everything that's happening is only happening to test your resolve to see how you respond. Okay, so if something happens and you go wailing, crying, wah wah wah, you've already failed because who are you wailing to? That's number one. If something happens and you get annoyed and you get ragey and you get angry, you fucker, you failed because who are you angry at? If you're talking shit about somebody like, yeah, fuck that, fucking, same rules apply, bro. Who are you talking to? Can't have it both ways, my nigga. So, okay. In that realization, it becomes clear that, okay, so these things are happening to me to see how I handle them as consciousness, as the emergent point in physical form, as life itself in physical form, as a fractal of God itself, the operant power in physical form. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So I'll give you my own example. You know me, I keep it real, bro. So my oldest son, right? And he's amazing, actually, like super chill kid. Sometimes he can be a little bit entitled, yeah. And recently, like we were out and he was like being super entitled about something. And I felt the energy rise within me, like, what's it? And when I look at the situation, I realize, okay, what's happening here? There is a response. Something is happening in the outside reality, right? My son is doing something that I find annoying due to a story that I have within myself. Entitlement is bad. You can't think like this. You can't behave like that. Blah, blah, blah. Stories. Cool. And what you have to realize is when those things are happening, yeah, the best way to deal with them, even someone being malicious, I've got people like that have done like things to me that I wouldn't do to them. Like, by the same time, I'm sure I've also done things to people that they wouldn't do to me. It's nobody's holy, bro. Shut the actual fuck up. Nobody's holy. I'm telling you, we're all animals here. Yeah, we're animals. Nobody is. Yeah, bro. Chill out. So whether yours comes in the form of a fucking pizza, or it comes in the form of a burger, or comes in the form of fucking Chinese noodles, you're gonna get it one way or the other. Yeah, and you have to learn it because it's within you. So you need to overcome it. So one thing I realize is when something is happening on the screen, yeah, somebody's annoying you, somebody's doing something you don't like, think of it as put your hand in your pocket maybe, yeah, or tap yourself. And the tapping that you're doing to your body, yeah, I normally tap myself, yeah, and as I'm tapping myself, I put that person in my hand. That person has now become my hand and is tapping my body. And I look down at my hand and I'm like, okay, so this thing's trying to get me to respond. If I respond, I'm only attacking my own hand. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to attack my own hand. But what if it doesn't stop attacking it doesn't stop, then it doesn't stop. I'm not the body anyway. Oh, but what if then he walks away thinking he's won? Or he's done, no. That's a story. And through that, you would have come out the other side of the experience that was happening for you to ascend through it. Do you get it? It wasn't happening to you, it was happening for you to, it's like a hurdle, jump over it. Because once you jump over it, you create a different reality. Now, all the energy that you would have exerted in creating another reality where you've got a fucking argument, fucking court, this, all this shit, you wouldn't waste energy doing that. Now you're back into presence, you're centered again. You get it? So don't waste your time getting tangled in bullshit, man. You see, when you look at all these they make my skin crawl, actually. These kind of quote unquote gangsters and street guys and roadmen and stuff like that, they make my skin actually itch when you look at them. But I look at them with compassion at the same time, and I'm not just saying that, I'm actually being real, because you realize that they are in a state of reaction. They're constantly reacting to outside stimulus, right? Because from the perspective of the being, the emergent point looking out, the advisor, they have no reference point. They can't anchor themselves, so they think it's actually happening, right? So they'll arm themselves with knives and they'll stab people, but they're just doing it to themselves. Then he dies. That's why the cycle always continues, and the police and nobody can ever stop it, because once the cycle is started, it has to continue. You've done it, but you only did it to yourself, so it's another configuration. You're going to pay for it. It's the same thing. It loops round, right? Nobody can stop it. Guys, let me tell you something. I was listening to some writings from one of these Sufi. I like the Sufis. I'm not a big fan of organized religion, but the Sufis really did have a really good way of understanding reality and how they put it, and their perspectives are pretty interesting. And he said something really, really interesting. He said, God is a fantastic clockmaker. Yeah. Everything that happens is happening on God's watch. Nothing can happen in this realm. Yeah. That is outside of God's control. Like, literally, it's impossible. Like, every leaf, even the leaf that falls down from the tree, the wind that's blowing, the sun, every single thing is accounted for. Dudes, look in the fucking sky. It's a precise machine. Look at your body. It's a precise machine. Look at everything around you. Precision everywhere. Only humans fuck it up. Yeah? Now, with that in mind, you realize that, okay, if it's precise, then there's no bad thing or no good thing that you do that's not gonna somehow that you're not gonna somehow experience in one way or the other. Like, it's just facts. It's just facts. So if life is being a bit shit, bro, like, maybe it's a test for you to, in the simulation sense, maybe it's a test, or maybe it's something that you've actually put out energetically. You're older than you think. Some of us have been fucking everything, warlords, fucking everything and everything in between. Okay, so in that realization, you need to kind of really, 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 really like accept stuff, accept the screen, accept it for what it is, but realize that you are the non-physical observer, bro. Get me? That's just the facts, bro. I have to give it to you straight, bro. That's just the facts. So don't get bogged down by that stuff. That guy did you wrong. Okay, cool. It's cool, man. It's just a lesson. I just needed to. There's no retribution. There's no revenge. Revenge what? You're only revenging yourself. Don't revenge nothing, because you are. once you start to hold on to that energy, like I'm gonna fucking kill, I'm gonna get him back, that toxic energy is within your frame, it's within your body, it's within your reality, and it's gonna start corroding within your reality, not outside. There's nobody, you're not harming anybody, bro. I can't remember who said it, but it's like being angry is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I find that so interesting. But in conclusion, man, take some time. And like I've told you this before, let all the hostages go, bro. Whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, bro. Let them go, bro. Let them go, bro. Let them go. Trust me, bro. Trust them. Trust me, because you let them go, you also release yourself from bondage, because you not letting them go is you actually binding yourself in bondage and you don't even realize. That's the deepness of it, bro. You know, you're angry at somebody, you're angry at yourself. You want to hurt somebody, you want to get someone back, you want to get yourself back, and you will get yourself back, but it won't be you that will do it. It will be a reflection of you that does it on the screen to you, because you've put it out there, bro. So yeah, just think nice things about the people that you actually don't like. Yeah, trust me, just do it. It's not gonna harm you. And just spread love, bro. Just be cool. Just be a cool G, bro. Just be Charlie, that's cool. You know, just be a chill guy. Just everything's just blessed, and yeah, man. Just keep it moving. Let the light of God just shine through you, bro. Feel me? Like, and that's it. Once you do that, the simulation will start to make a lot more sense to you, and it'll become more clearer to you. You start to see more. You start to see the colors. You start to hear the wind. You start to see the stars and the moon, and you start to experience more. You hear the insects, and oh, okay, cool, because you're starting to get in touch with more aspects of your own self, bro. You start to see smiles, and you start to see the goodness in people, and you start to realize that, oh, I'm seeing all the goodness and kindness in people, and people, blah, 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 blah. You're not seeing shit, bro. You're seeing the goodness and kindness in your own self. Recognize. I'm out. I've given you a lot of heavy information, even though it's not been the most kind of they've not been the longest videos in the world. I don't actually like long videos. I think one has to be able to explain complexity very simply, otherwise you don't actually understand complexity. So you have to be able to, everything can be explained very simply. So I strive to find these ways of simplifying these concepts. But I think I left the last video was the one on thirsts and duality, and how thirsts prove that we as consciousness, life itself, a fractalized version of God, source energy in human form, is different from the body. Okay, so today I'm going to show you that your entire reality, because I've said this before, your entire reality is actually within your body. Your entire world resides in your body. When I say resides in your body, I don't mean your physical body, because in this illusion we live in, there's this idea of separation is very heavy here anyway. So we tend to think about your body as you, but your body extends past you. It includes your aura, it includes the entire reality, what you see in your reflection. When you look outside, what you see is part of your body. Okay? It's part of it. And everybody's walking with their own one. And the best way I could try and explain it, because I think it came to me once in a dream, they're like bubbles. It's like everybody is in their own bubble of reality. I think that's a very good way of putting it, actually, and it does make sense. So I'm going to show you how, in essence, your physical body, but for simplicity's sake, I'll show you anyway. But your physical body is your earth. It's your simulation. Okay, cool. So we touched on the emergent point being you. Yeah. This is the source of all complexity. That's what you are. Yeah, the emergence, that's what you are. And previously I told you that light and sound together help you to create a whole world. Yeah, but really, light and sound are part of the very same emergent point. So do I mean that when you're in vitro and you hear voices or you see lights and stuff, it's coming from, it could be coming from your own self. In fact, it's coming from your own self. You know, there's nobody there. I'll show you. And it can't be argued against even. It can't even be argued with to say that, oh, it's definitely this, because it could even be coming from a device. But the thing is, the simulation is really complex. It's like we are running it on ourselves. I keep telling you this, right? You're fractalized versions of God in this simulation called life, and you're here to learn, evolve, grow, and all the rest of it. So the emergent point, being you, uses light and sound to create realities. Hold on, let me show you the visual. So I remember I showed you this. So you've got sound, which is an input, light, which is also an input. You see color, yeah? And based on that, you use that to create your reality, and the sound, what you hear, you use that to create the outside world, okay? But in essence, you're just getting inputs, which you then use to create this. This wasn't there, you made it, including yourself, okay? Because you were born into a world of light and sound. That's it. There's nobody else there. This is your bubble, if you like. Yeah, this is your world. And remember what I told you about the pointers? All there is code, lines of light and sound. Yeah, sound waves and light waves. And you, because you are taught how to cut these shapes, you cut shapes in this, but ultimately it's you that's doing that here. Okay? It's just you, bro. Now, so with the light and sound coming together to create you, right? You could look at it in this way. This might be easier to digest. You have the emergent point, yeah? And the complexity arises until it hits the limits of the configuration or the limits of your beliefs, yeah? Then you start to get feedback, the echo, yeah? And then that coming back to you shapes what you create, because it's all down to what you believe. If you believe there are no limits, there will be nothing to create, because you'll be everything all the time. Yeah, okay. So using light and sound, you create a vibrational being, which is what you're going to occupy. Yeah? Okay. And this vibrational being is your physical configuration, okay? And also bear in mind that light and sound are waves. So this being is actually not physical, yeah? It's partly, how do I say it? It's part electromagnetic and part mechanical. This is what you are, yeah? The emergent point in this realm. This is what you are. You are just a vibrational being, period. Okay? Now, once to play this game, you need to enter life on Earth. You have to enter this simulation. There's no other way. Okay? You have to enter. You have to be born. Okay? You have to go into this door. Yeah, look through the keyhole. You are everything behind the key, everything behind the door, but you have to kind of like have a limited, separated view of your own self. Yeah, so you can have this experience, okay? But you are everything, both behind the door and in front of the door, okay? Now, when you create a physical configuration to inhabit this, let's call it the Ouroboros spacesuit. The Ouroboros spacesuit is an animal-based computing device, okay, which has thirsts. And every thirst, like I told you, is an alarm system which is there primarily for balance regulation. Yeah, I showed you this previously. And even people that live in hellish states that have these insatiable thirsts for drugs and sex and fucking debauchery and all types of craziness is because they're so out of balance. Their spiritual side is so out of balance that they have to load their physical all the time just to have some semblance of peace in their minds, because their minds are literally hell. Okay, it's an alarm system. That's what every thirst is. Okay, so this physical configuration, this physical suit, yeah, is vibrational in nature, but it's animalistic because this place itself, you can only be an animal to come here. Yeah, it's where you learn how to not be an animal, but you have to be an animal first. Okay, so you take on this animalistic suit. Actually, hold on, this is your animalistic suit, yeah, that you're in. Okay, and this suit has thirsts, yeah, which I've showed you that because of that, it shows the duality between yourself and the suits that you're in, through which you're experiencing life. Yeah, now this suit has some 14 thirsts based on what, like, my research and what I think there's about 14 thirsts. If there's more, please do tell me. I think there's about 14, but like I said, air is automatic. Yeah, you can't physically stop yourself from breathing, you know. And if you look at the religious text where they talk about God put the breath of life in man, you know, it's like you put yourself in a physical suit. Yeah, anyway, so I have the 14 thirsts. Like I said, there's air, there's water, there's food, which is matter, you know, Ouroboros. So even the vegans, I think they're holier than everybody else. You're still consuming matter. Okay, shelter, sleep, movement, touch, light, play, and laughter. Yeah, then there's other thirsts, like a thirst for creativity, right, which is not really a thirst because it's just the thing inside wants to come out. You know, freedom and autonomy, the thing inside wants to be free. Novelty and exploration, the thing inside wants to use the body to do things. It wants to see the world, right? Human and communal connections and stuff. Yes, it wants to interact with itself. It wants to experience life, right? Then there's sex and there's friction, which, you know, is just pleasurable friction, which we need for procreation to restart the process. So these are like all systems within this. Yeah, you as consciousness don't have any systems. You're all there is. Nothing can phase you, because even when the body is out of breath, the observer is still very calm. Yeah, when you're dying, the observer is very calm. Believe me, it's just the animal. It's just this that's screaming and shouting. So we've established you are the emergent point. You're made of electromagnetic waves and mechanical waves, i.e. sound and light. You use that to construct a vibrational suit, yeah, if you like, which you then use to experience this simulation called life on Earth, okay? And you are light and sound itself. Light and sound aren't independent of the emergent point, because based on your beliefs and the limits of your understanding or the limits of your configuration, you dream a dream and then you get the feedback and then you use that to construct a world for you to experience it. Okay, so now that you are in the sim, you're in the suit, happy days, everything's cool. Oh, there was another thing I wanted to say. Of the thirst, another one that is non-negotiable is sleep, because otherwise you die. It's this. Yeah, so when I tell you this is a computational device of some sort that you are experiencing, I don't know why you want to argue, but anyway. So once you are behind the visor, this is what you see. Yeah, you see the world. But the world is basically lines of code, right? Made up of sound and light. Yeah? Let me show you. So do you remember this? Inputs in here, right? You dream a dream, you create a world. Yeah, you create a world. You go and experience that world. Now, when you enter that world, this is birth. You enter that world, you're essentially in a world of light and sound, which you yourself created. Okay, so you are in your own mind. You are literally just here. You've not gone anywhere. Okay? Because when you come out and people teach you and they train you how to read the code and how to cut out shapes in the code made of light and sound, all that's happening is this once more. Because you're hearing sound and seeing color and being taught how to guide your creative force, and you use that to create an outside world which you then go to experience. Okay, that's what's happening, just lines of code. All right, so experiencing all these lines of code, you realize that you're actually inside the suit. You're not outside. There's nothing, you're not looking at anything outside of the suit. It's all within the suit, because outside of the suit is nothingness. You return back to source. Okay, you return back to this point. Yeah, but with no limitations. So all you're seeing is just code for you to interact with, learn, experience, explore, entertain yourself, grow and evolve. When you take this too seriously, it's like a child. You're taking a toy too seriously. It's not real. Why are you crying? Why are you wailing? It's not real. It's a toy. It's not a real thing. Okay? So when you actually are here, because you yourself, there's no physicality to you. There can't be. It's impossible. You're the emergent point of consciousness itself. So when you experience this thing, and as you go through it, you go through heartbreak or loss, betrayal, suffering, death, injury, illness, whatever it is, and you start to gain the awareness that, oh, this is actually a temporary experience. You mature, you grow, yeah? And as you grow, you realize that this is merely a toy. It's not the real thing, yeah? The real thing is you. The only thing that's real is you. So when you're looking out of your visor and you're concerned about others and things like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, bro. The whole earth as you know it, or this simulation that you entered this device. You entered your computing device, which needs water, it needs food, it needs air, it needs even needs charging, bro. Yeah? That's where you are. There's nothing happening outside of you. Yeah? So when I told you that you're not even born yet, that's exactly that. You are still in that stage. You know? You're in a sim. Okay? You're in a simulation, bro.